guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see in front of me, I have a totally different selection of foods to what you normally see on my channel. Normally you see me guys with the tins and all the prepping stuff I buy. However, looks much more healthier. Well, many of you have been emailing for the past very long time and asking to do those kind of videos because obviously you wanted to know what sort of foods I generally buy, not as a prepper but as a mum and as a wife, what sort of meals that we cook. And of course, a lot of you across the pond really wanted to know the prices on the meats. And at the same time, many of you kind of asked the question, what do I do to try to combat the cost of living prices? Because to be fair guys, yes, the inflation apparently is stable, but on a regular basis we do see prices of everything going, be it fresh foods or tins. As you know, every week guys I pop into supermarket, I'll see one or two things that increased in price quite drastically. So in those series guys, hopefully if you want them to be serious, obviously please comment below. I'll share with you what certain things I do buy on my weekly top-up shops, and we're going to be talking about the fresh foods. Obviously the prepping videos are going to be separate, so we're going to be talking about the fresh foods and vegetables and whatever. And at the same time guys, I'm going to be trying to share with you some ideas how we can preserve certain things, and of course what to do with the foods that we buy. Whilst we're in this cost of living crisis, and I'm sure we're going to be in it for quite a while, I think it's very important guys to learn and understand how to deal with the fresh produce. And if there's abundance of the fresh produce comes along, is the ability to preserve it, knowing what to do with it, so we are able to consume still a very healthy diet but at a reduced cost. Again, as you know, I've been growing few things in my garden, but certain things weren't as successful. However, over the course of the summer, I have obviously preserved the things that did well, and of course I have frozen things as well. So I do have a kind of a smaller backup of like vegetables in the freezer and in the jars. However, I kind of try to keep those things as a prepping items, and I still prefer to eat fresh on a daily basis. So guys, without further ado, let's proceed to the main part of the video. First of all, when we're talking about purchasing the foods, I'm sure you're aware guys that trying to shop and trying to find things on the yellow label in terms of anything that is reduced, it's a very, very good idea. I found out in my Lidl that they reduced their foods first thing in the morning, and at the same time, if you're lucky, you can pick up yourself a veg box for 150, though I haven't seen one for weeks. In Tesco's, I know for a fact they do the first reductions early in the morning, and then they do reductions at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where majority of the stuff goes to 50%. So if you do have a luxury of having either one of the other shops available next to you, try to fit your shops around that. I know it's a common sense guys, you might think, but trust me, if you're trying to jiggle something about to make sure that you make there on time, it could really make a huge difference. Another thing as well with the Lidl, if you follow my videos, I've already explained to you that the Lidl do have an aisle that I seem to reduce a previous weekly stock quite often to like 59 pence, although it's not really fresh foods. However, also they introduced a new like end of an aisle thing where they do weekly specials on certain things, and this includes like dry goods or cleaning products, which again could help us in the long run. And at the same time, as you know, every supermarket will do their vegetables. Their weekly vegetables are always at a reduced price. And especially with Lidl, I found that the prices could be very, very keen. And another thing is they normally put those vegetables in the middle, the ones that are technically in the season, be it probably imported from Europe anyway. But nonetheless, a lot of the times the stuff is very, very cheap. And this is the key time where we need to be able to stocking up on those vegetables and then making them into something. So I'll give you an example from last week. They were doing a big red bell peppers for 30, I think it was 35p each. They were huge. They were like 300 grams each. They were absolutely beautiful. So I bought 12 peppers. Okay, so I came home and I chopped them up and I froze them. I wanted to come back to get more, but I missed the boat in terms of the days because the days change on Thursday. So I froze a lot of them, and it worked out to be more than half price of if I'm to buy the red peppers or sliced red peppers frozen from Tesco's. So automatically I've saved myself a lot of money. If I then had that time actually to roast some of those peppers, you know, you can buy roast peppers in a jar. They're quite expensive. You're looking at over, I think, £1.39 for a little jar. They're really, really lovely, but expensive. So if I had more time and I haven't missed the boat, I would have bought another lot of peppers, roasted them, and then either canned them or froze them to give me that variety of the pepper foods or foods to cook with the peppers for the future days. And the also really good point as a prepper's thinking, I've saved all my seeds from those peppers. They're normal peppers, and yes, seeds from the supermarkets will grow. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to have the same kind of result, but to be fair, tomatoes seem to fare out well. Peppers, chili peppers seem to do really well from a supermarket seeds, but it's not something I'm going to be growing potentially like next year. But because they're there, I'm just going to put them away, seal them, and they're there for a rainy day if I run out for some reason of pepper seeds. So it brings me down, guys, to let's proceed with the vegetables, and the seasonal offers at Lidl is a butternut squash. If you follow my gardening, you know I've been trying to grow pumpkins and all sorts of things, and they really didn't work that well. So as you can see, this is my size of my pumpkins that I've grown. I literally have about 6 or 7 of them. They're kind of cute, but to be fair, it's really not a lot there. So my winter preparedness for pumpkins doesn't quite work. They'll probably end up just staying here as a winter decorations now for, for the Halloween. So nonetheless, guys, they had a squash this week, and it's still running, 79p a kilo, okay? And they're really nice, healthy size looking squashes. Each of one of those worked out approximately £1.24, £1.25. It sounds maybe like it's a lot of money, but you can actually do quite a lot. And again, the main point is, guys, while those deals are on, okay, and I bought more than 3, it's very important to be able to pick them up, as I said earlier, and do something with them. Of course, we'll be consuming them this week as well, but I will pop in and get some more, and either will can some or throw some as well. So this is the point of beating, and I can't stress this enough, the cost of living crisis, is to pick those things up. I appreciate this initial a little bit of outlay, more than, say if you only wanted to eat 1 a week, but you'll save yourself money in the long run. So anyway, let's just continue generally. So this was my little top-up shop, okay? Included the 2 boxes of cat food from Lidl and a very expensive and not so tasty coffee. So taking both of those things apart, the food here came up to £25. It doesn't look like a lot. £25 nowadays is not a lot of money. It's 3 of us in a household, but it might not actually not even look to you like it's a lot of food, but there is actually quite a lot that you can do with that, and to make sure that we are fully stuffed, as you wish, and actually have enough to eat for obviously dinners, lunches. Obviously there's no snacks here, but nonetheless. So I just go through with you guys with the prices, okay, to how much things cost, and then I can roughly tell you what I'm going to be doing, and you actually go, okay, that's good. For £25, the amount of dinners and healthy foods you can have is actually very good. So butternut squashes were covered, okay, they were £1.25, 24.25. Onions, there's a kilo of onions in Lidl is £1, well actually 99p. That's a very, very good. You've seen my rubbish efforts of growing onions this year. It was not good. So to be fair, for 99p for a kilo, that's a very, very good price. And this will last me longer, far longer than a week. They'll sit in the fridge for a good couple of months, if not longer, if they're not consumed, and they will be absolutely fine. So whilst I was in Lidl, I always pick up bits, but I just mentioned this, I not put in rice, but long life milk. I always pick up milk, long life or powdered if I go, because, well, that's what we do. Also, I've noticed the egg fried rices, okay, not talking about the preparedness part, but they're 45p, okay, and the date on that's like 2026, so I might be able to rotate my other ones, and again, for quick meals, it's quite handy. Cheese in Lidl is £2.49 still, which is very, very good. Another part as well, if you have a Lidl app, okay, they always have deals either specifically to you, or the deals run for the club card owners, not club card, sorry, the Lidl card. Anyway, yeast, they were doing this at 15% off, so from 65p a sachet, that turned up to be 55p, and there is 6 sachet of yeast. I now bake my own bread for the sandwiches, because I refuse to buy the supermarket bread that's full of chemicals and other stuff that we don't want. So I go through a lot of that. So again, seizing the opportunity when stuff is on a good deal is to buy a few of those and then putting this away, and then you don't have to worry about this buying this for the next few weeks. So yeah, so the next thing, the cat food was £2.55, but I'm not including this because it's not something that we eat, and you might not necessarily have animals. But another good thing was in the Lidl, one of those parts in the middle, not the middle, in the end of the aisle, they were doing those for the club card owners at 65p from, I think, £1.10. There are porridge oats in the sachets. Again, easy and convenient for somebody to take to work, or is a good prepper item. But the point is, guys, keep an eye on those deals because they do change every week, and it's very important that if you do consume that, obviously trying to find the deal and buy them when they are on the deal. Then I just quickly covered the Tesco's, okay? I'm not going to show you the other bits and bobs, but we're talking about the food. Again, Tesco's reduced stuff, as I said, just about 3 o'clock in my local supermarket. So got a pack of grapes here, 500 grams. Little one loves to snack on them. They're reduced to 86p from £1.59. I've got a pack of mushrooms reduced from £1.15 to 55p. And I've got 3 peppers reduced from £1.59 to 92 pence. Because I froze the other ones, they're there to restock my freezer part with the vegetables. They will be consumed this week. And now we have is meat. So let's start with the one top one here. So that was Lidl. Okay, so this is here. It's a 9 pork steaks. So they are 900 grams, okay, and that was reduced from £5.29 to £3.70, okay. That's very good. The only thing that bothers me is the amount of plastic packaging. Look at that, they're literally half. Nonetheless, anyway, so that works out to be a 41p per one steak, which is really, really good. Depends on your appetite, you have 1 or 2, but nonetheless though, 9 portions for £3.70 is very good. So for me, with those, I would make probably a schnitzel and I freeze some of those, obviously because they're reduced, they're not going to sit in the fridge for a whole week. So I'm going to do a schnitzel and then freeze them, and probably for today or tomorrow I end up having some pork and sort of creamy mushroom soup, which is really healthy. And then with the other ones, I either chop them up or just freeze them in the freezer for a later date. So next one here, okay, I've got chicken thighs. Okay, this one is £2.59 and it's 900 grams, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 of them in here. Okay, so that's not bad at all. So chicken thighs, again, not a huge amount of meat on them, but they do taste good. And for £2.59, again, you can really feed 2 people easily for 2 times a day. So with those, okay, and the pumpkin, I'm gonna do a spicy chicken and butternut squash and a harissa bake with maybe a little bit of cheese on top, something like that. So again, they'll basically, it's learning to kind of dilute your meat with the healthy vegetables to kind of bulk up the dish, but at the same time it will taste great. And because it's going to be the tray bake, it's very easy. Just chuck it all in there, bosh, it goes in the oven. Easy meal for the middle of the week. So anyway, so we established a couple of portions here, a couple of days worth of food actually, sorry, not the portions. And then as well, they had this week is go big or go home. So I've gone big and gone home. Yes, the chicken drumsticks, and they actually look, and it does say they are quite big ones apparently. So £3.79 for 2 kilos. This is actually better than buying them as a 1 kilo packets in Lidl or Aldi. And they do, honestly, they do look pretty sizable. They will shrink as you do chicken drumsticks, they just do anyway, but this is a lot. If you think about it, an average person, I would probably, eat 2 or 3 of those a day, considering, not a day, in a meal, considering you, of course, you bulk it up with some other potato chips or mash and obviously other vegetables or whatever you choose to do with them. So looking at that approximately, that looks like there's a good, like maybe 18 or 20 drumsticks. So as you can see, there's a good few meals there just from a £3.79. So now guys, if you now talk about say £25 and you consider all the meals we can make with that, it doesn't really look that bad. Again, don't forget, we still have a lot of butternut squash left in here. Don't forget, we can make like a butternut squash soup as well. At the same time, we can use that as a good replacement for a sweet potato, so you can make a butternut squash puree. So if we're having pork, you can have some butternut squash puree. The possibilities are endless. So to me, again, with the addition of other bits and bobs and seasonings and things we already have in the prepper pantry, I don't really think it's that bad. So the key is, as I said, is to try to find things on the deal, and actually trying to pay attention, especially when you buy meat, is have a look price per when you look at the labels, it gives you price and price per kilo, okay, because all the packages are different weights. Some of them are 800 grams, some of them 900 grams, but there's always in the corner, at any shop that you shop, it always there that tells you price per kilo. So for example, if you compare drumsticks in the bigger pack, drumsticks to a smaller pack, it will tell you, say the big one is end up being, say £1.50 a kilo. Smaller ones might be, say, £2 a kilo. So just look at that and make sure you get yourself the best deal. So anyway, guys, well, hopefully kind of like this video. You've been asking for something like this. I will try to make them a bit more, I don't know, maybe tell you more recipes. I don't know. You let me know what you want to see down below. As I said, it's my first one. It's a bit odd to kind of share my weekly things and foods that I'm going to cook, but nonetheless, I shared worse in here. So there we are. Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you do really like to see more of those kind of things, more obviously the prices on the foods and the recipes. And well, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.